Stepping outside of the culture basically means you can't see the whole picture of your life if you're inside of the picture frame. Right? So like if I'm inside of the picture frame, I can't look at the entirety of my life. I've got to step outside of the picture frame to be able to turn around and look in, right? And so stepping outside of the culture is placing us in a position to be able to have perspective on life, right? I don't know if you've ever done this, but so like I'll take it back to like high school. If you're inside of the guys' locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you spend enough time inside of the guys' locker room, you're breathing in the air that's in there. It probably doesn't smell too bad, right? But if you
Mm-hmm.
step outside of the room, like for like 15 minutes and you go right back into that locker room, it smells like trash, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't know that you're inside of a stinky room unless you leave it. And then you come back and you recognize, yo, this locker room don't smell too good, right? It smells hecka musty and all the things, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to step away to be able to take a look at where you've been, at the life that you've been living. And I didn't realize like all of these limiting beliefs until I stepped outside of the culture. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily that it's bad, right? I'm not saying that it's bad. It works for where it's at. It has its place, right? But also, like, I don't know if you've ever heard, the concept of the hero's journey before. You ever hear about that before?
No.
Hero's journey. So the hero's journey, there was a guy who created this book, and basically he studied every single heroic character from Greek mythology all the way to nowadays movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the hero always follows the same storyline. The hero is found in his hometown and he's working away, and one day somebody comes along, sometimes it's an older person, and they tell that hero that, hey, you're a hero, you're created for great things. And sometimes that hero doesn't believe it right off the bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes some part of the story, something chaotic happens, like the princess gets kidnapped by a dragon or an evil villain comes into town, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this person comes back to the hero and says, you're the one who's been chosen to make an impact and to save our kingdom, right? And then the hero goes along on that journey and finds a group of people who partner up with him, and now they're off, right? They're off on this adventure. They go into the unknown. And at a certain part of the story, the hero is faced with this massive dragon or villain, or in many people's lives, the very limiting belief that has been stopping you, right? And at some point they defeat that dragon or whatever it may be, right? And that's not the end of the story though, because at the end of the story, the hero always returns back home, right? The hero always returns back home. The hero overcame the challenges and always turns back home, and reveals to their town or their village what has occurred, right? And so the reason why I bring that up is because if you're watching this podcast right now, let me be the one to tell you that you're the hero. You're the one who's been designed to create some great things in this world. And if you're specifically in the Tongan community or Polynesian community, you've been the one who's been chosen to absolutely take the reins and turn this thing around. The question is, are you going to own it and step into the unknown? It's going to require for you to step outside of the culture. It's going to require for you, because people are not going to understand it.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
gonna be people who are gonna be like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, you're wasting your time doing that. There's no benefit in any of that for you. Why don't you just stay where we're at? But
Mm-hmm.
see, people don't want to see, they're doing it out of love. They're trying to keep you safe. But see, you weren't designed to live a safe life. You were designed to live a life of adventure, of excitement, of risk taking. You were designed to make that. You were designed to do hard things, right? But many people don't step outside of that, and they just stay comfortable, and then they just They just shrink back. And so I want to encourage you to say, man, you are the hero that's designed to go out and battle that limiting belief that's been stopping you. You ain't got to be broke anymore. What if I told you that you don't have to work at the airport to make good money? You don't have to be a caregiver to make good money. What if I told you that you don't have to be 350 pounds struggling with diabetes for the rest of your life? What if I told you that you didn't have to go to every single caipola and eat every single thing under the sun until you hate yourself the next morning? What if I told you that? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a different possibility for your life, but you got to be willing to step outside of what you know to be able to grow.